Hello, fellow Biafrans. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on your location. Join me, my people. Join me from wherever you are watching. Join me, my people. Join me. I am here once more today for us to continue from where we stopped yesterday. Today is another day, and we have to thank God. Let me say a little prayer. Almighty God, Father, Lord, I call upon you, merciful God, to join us in this liberation movement. Almighty Father, please extend your hand of mercy to our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Father, Lord, protect our Prime Minister for us, our Obato Biewan of Biafra land, and protect all Biafrans all over the world. He said, my people, join me so that we will continue. Biafra is our... Hello, Henry, my brother. Thank you for joining. Thank you. You know, every day when I'm here, I feel like I am already in Biafra land, especially when all of you join me to deliberate on matters going on at the moment. Thank you so much. I trust you always like and share so that whatever we are saying goes viral. When you look at the title of the program today, you will see that the Nigerian government, they are always at it. They are at it at all times. 1 minute, please. My glasses is a bit shady. Needs cleaning. Well, sorry about that. Yeah, it's clearer now. I can see very well with it. You know, yesterday we were talking about an issue, the issue that happened at Ueli. And you will see the defense chief, Mr. Musa, trying to defend their actions without reasonable facts, that led to what happened at Ueli South. In a country where a government will choose who to listen to and who not to listen to, you will agree with me that Ueli is also Biafra. And whenever anything happens there, they will send the military. And the military they send there are these repented Boko Haram. And the Arise TV was, they were interviewing him. And he was saying something like that they would have flattened the town. And the argument was, why would they flatten the town? He also made mention of them knowing who is causing the problem or who caused that particular problem. You know? So when things like this happens, we try to look deeper. Hello, sister. I'm online now. Do you want to talk to Biafrans? Yes. But I want to know. Yeah, join me. No, my personal, the Betty Ford TV. Okay, let me go there now. Thank you. Yeah, so she's one of us. So the military man was saying that they would have flattened the town. So you can imagine when anything happens in the southeast, they will send the repented Boko Haram to come and buy the southeasterners. But I have never heard that military chief talk about those 70 southwest and southeast soldiers that were all buried in the north, because that is where they send the southeastern soldiers. There was a time I was showing on this program where they were, you know, where they were talking about separating the soldiers, the southeastern soldiers and the northeast soldiers. And I was wondering, why would they do a thing like that? Why are they doing something like that? But everyone would know that this is the reason why they do things like that. They want to segregate. They want to protect their own and buy the ones that are not human beings. Let me check if I can see the video where he was making that nonsensical comment. You know, I cannot find it. So today again, I stumbled into this very Amnesty International
of methods, including beatings, shooting, and rape. Human rights group Amnesty International has alleged that the Nigerian police and military routinely torture women, men, and children, some as young as 12 years old, using a wide range of methods, including beatings, shooting, and rape. At the launch of a 10-year report of torture in Nigeria, the Director for Research and Advocacy of the rights group says although Nigeria prohibits torture and other ill treatments in its constitution, the act is perpetrated illegally.
I was hung for about 1 hour. It got to a point when I felt life was going out of me and I had to accept to be alive. So I accepted what they asked me to accept. And I wrote it down and presently is in court.
Mbazibe Onyekachi's story is one of 500 allegations of torture against security operatives in Nigeria, documented by the Amnesty International in the report titled Welcome to Hellfire, Torture and Other Ill Treatment in Nigeria. Another victim, Mr. Justin Wanko, narrated how he was beaten, suspended in mid-air and stripped naked into signing a confessional statement bordering on a murder case. It is stories like this and many others that has made Amnesty International conclude that not only is torture an integral part of the Nigerian justice system, but also there is a systemic failure to ban and criminalize torture in the country.
Being practiced by police, their investigation of criminal activities, and by the military security service. We documented over 30 types of commonplace torture methods used.
You see, they are talking about the torture that goes on in Nigeria. Amnesty International, they visited Nigeria, that was in Abuja, to criminalize torture in Nigeria. But already the ICC, our Prime Minister, have vowed that when Biafra comes, all these people that are being tortured, that they will be taken to ICC to answer for all the torture. We all know that Onyendu was tortured in Kenya for 8 whole days before he was renditioned to Nigeria. Until date, he is still going through the same. Because when somebody is in detention and falls sick, and you refuse the person access to medical treatment, it amounts to torture. Under Article 3 of the European Convention on Human Rights. This is what people go through every day in Nigeria. And nobody says anything about it, not even the government. Even when court releases the person that was being tortured, the government will order for that person's detention. Hello, my wonderful sister. Thank you for joining. Remember to make your comments so that we will interact. Thank you. Thank you, my sister Stella Ibiam. Wonderful sister. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you so much. So today we are talking about the Amnesty International that visited in Abuja, where the zoo have their federal capital. A man was talking about how he was tortured and was made, thank you, and was made to accept doing something he never did. He said that life was almost leaving him, but because of the torture, he was forced to accept. Yes, he was forced to accept doing what he did not do. A second person confessed going through the same thing, and some of these foreigners that came, let me play it again.
Human rights group Amnesty International has alleged that the Nigerian police and military routinely torture women, men, and children, some as young as 12 years old, using a wide range of methods, including beatings, shooting, and rape. At the launch of a 10-year report of torture in Nigeria, the Director for Research and Advocacy of the rights group says although Nigeria prohibits torture and other ill treatments in its constitution, the act is perpetrated illegally.
I was hung for about 1 hour. It got to the point when I felt life was going out of me, and I had to accept to be alive. So I accepted what they asked me to accept. And I wrote it down and presently is in court.
Mbazigwe Onyekachi's story is one of 500 allegations of torture against security operatives in Nigeria, documented by the Amnesty International in the report titled Welcome to Hellfire, Torture and Other Ill Treatments in Nigeria. Another victim, Mr. Justin Wanko, narrated how he was beaten, suspended in midair, and stripped naked into signing a confessional statement bordering on a murder case. It is stories like this and many others that has made Amnesty International conclude that not only is torture an integral part of the Nigerian justice system, but also there is a systemic failure to ban and criminalize torture in the country.
Exactly. My sister said that's what they have subjected our people to for a long period of years. That's exactly what it is. No accountability. You are very, very correct, my sister. This is what we go through, and nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. Why we do what we do is for the world to know and to see and understand that they call us secessionists. We are not. What we are, we want our freedom. We are freedom fighters. We want to leave Nigeria. You could see that these two men here that spoke are Southeasterners. You can never see a Fulani man going under torture or being tortured or being made to accept what they haven't done before being freed. Now, our Prime Minister said here, those of them that will survive the breakup of Nigeria will be dragged to the ICC, International Criminal Court. That's exactly where it will end, because Nigeria is a place where they will choose to talk to bandits rather than to talk to Biafrans, who are freedom fighters, those who want to liberate themselves. In all this, they don't remember the legal aspect of that nation's existence, which is the constitution that bound everyone together during 1914, when the zoo was amalgamated. The legal aspect was that after 100 years, any of the nations that does not want to continue could take their leave. And they had referendum included in that very constitution. But the zoo, being what they are, knowing their hidden agenda, they removed it in 1999 when they secretly restructured Nigeria to suit the Fulanese. You can never find referendum in Nigeria constitution, which is one of the central and core areas when a country is putting their constitution together. But they removed it. That was why Onyendu was always asking them for referendum or restructure. So, my people, I will now show you what is going on currently. What is Gumi's condition and position in the zoo?
There is uproar in the funeral industry about this little £1 a week policy.
Efforts by some states in Northern Nigeria when you continue of suffering from what I call the Stockholm syndrome, a situation whereby the victim begins to identify with the oppressor and pleads the cause of the oppressor. Are you guilty as charged? Because you said these bandits, they should be granted amnesty, and you have also said the Nigerian government should negotiate with them. Other Nigerians are saying, look, these are criminals. Why is Sheikh Gumi a victim, in real sense, they say, of the Stockholm syndrome?
Okay, you see, when we oversimplify a very complex issue, this is what we get here. That is confusion. Everybody doesn't know what to do. I can see there's really disorder, our reaction to banditry. What we call banditry, actually, when you cross the eyesight and go to the other side, you find that Nigeria is fighting a tribal war. And the government is supposed to be the mediator, it's supposed to be neutral, it's not supposed to take sides.
So, my people, can anyone tell me, maybe if I didn't know or I didn't hear, that there is a tribal war in Nigeria? or maybe in Biafra land, I don't know, where the tribal war is taking place. Because I cannot fathom a man that rears and keeps terrorists being given this type of honor, while our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is still being incarcerated. Why he cannot, just a single man, why he cannot be given this type of audience? When a man that controls group of terrorists, he is calling them bandits. Okay, let's assume that they are bandits. Is banditry something that a government or a society will condone? But he is being given all this kiddies gloves treatment. This is the country, the world should know this, that this is the country we live in. And this is a kind of thing that no one will expect us to condone or live with.
Because part of the conflict. And this is what I saw in Zamfara State, in Niger State, and other states. This is a tribal war going on, and with the government taking one side. So I realized that if you can cross to the other side, listen to their grievances, and understand their agitations, the government can easily, in a very short time, cure this problem we are having. When you said these bandits are committing crime, yes, I agree they are committing crime.
Have you not been,
people, they are kidnapping, they are raping, they are doing
did you people hear him? He said he agreed that they are committing crime. I'm not program. Wow, what am I saying?
All sort of atrocities. But have you once go to the outside to see the kind of...
Sorry, my people. Someone called me and I thought it was one of us. You know, some people called me on this line to speak to Biafrans. I beg your pardon for that break.
An ordinary herdsman is lynched in many towns in Nigeria. We have seen that in Oyo. We have seen that in Anambra. Their children decapitated. We have seen that in many regions of Nigeria. People don't look at that too. So I think there should be well-meaning Nigerians that should stay neutral in this tribal wars. It's very unfortunate that in the 21st century, because of the facts in our governmental structure, people have turned into tribalism or religion, originality to express their grievances. I think in the 21st century, we should also have this sense of collectiveness, and that we should come and build a nation whereby equity, transparency, and even love of each other should be there. But the atrocities committed, I think, on both sides is appalling, and we condemn it and we don't support it. I don't speak for the bandits as well. I don't speak for those committing atrocities against the bandits. I'm trying to be neutral in this case, to look at it objectively, in fact, even scientifically.
So, my people, you heard Gumi talking about love of one another, talking about religion, talking about criminality. Is this the kind of thing that we are expecting to hear from Gumi? And he's rearing these people like you are rearing cattle all over the country. There is no part of that zoo in West Africa, no part of that country that the Fulani bandits are not. All the bushes, people can no longer farm. Students are very, very vulnerable, elderly people, and Gumi is here talking about love of one another. He first of all said that there is tribal war. Who and who is fighting the Fulanis?
Well, thank you, Sheikh Boni. You're sounding here like Bertolt Brecht in the poem on violence, when he says everybody speaks of the violence of the river that drags everything, but nobody talks about the violence of the riverbanks that contain it. However, I don't know, you use the word easily. I'm not quite sure how easy it is. Let's look at the Bello Massari model, for example, or experiment. And I'll start in October 2019, where he
Because the reason why nji wee wetuo ya a na-egosi ndị ji egbe and Facebook na YouTube ada fana abania. So I will raise it up now.
Said amnesty to the bandits, expressing similar opinions as yours, saying that it's actually security agencies that taught them how to become kidnappers. So amnesty was granted October 2019. Come June 2020, the same Bello Massari, governor of Katsina State, for the benefit of our viewers, vowed Bello Massari, governor of Katsina State, for the benefit of our viewers, vowed never to give amnesty again. He cancelled the amnesty, feeling that he had been betrayed on a few occasions by those he had granted amnesty to. 6 months later, November 2020, he granted amnesty again. So what do we say about that? It's not as easy as it seems, is it?
Yes, you see, when you grant a political amnesty, I mean amnesty in the front of the press and the media, but in the real sense, there was no amnesty. Amnesty comes with a package. The package is that you rehabilitate these criminals, you provide for them social amenities, you provide for them schools, hospitals, you engage.
My people, he's calling them criminals, which means that Gumi knows what he is actually doing. Gumi knows what he is doing. He is deliberately terrorizing the whole country for the interest of one tribe. You see that he now called them criminals. He doesn't want to use terrorism. When a criminal is constantly disturbing a tribe or a state or a place, it's terror. But he's using the word criminal on them.
You try to entice them to leave the forest by engaging them in different kind of professions. And not every one of them can be a herdsman again. But there's no any project put forward. It's just the ceremony of handing over weapons, and that cannot stop banditry. But I can say now, from what we are hearing from Katsina State, there's a relative peace, and the government is truly engaging them. And that's why Katsina State is finding that really dialogue, given the rule through amnesty, not the political one, is giving results. And we have seen that in Zamfara State. I've been to Shinkafi Forest, where there is such a...
Yes, they want to be dialogued with, but no one will dialogue with the Southeasterners. They don't want to dialogue with us. We don't deserve anybody dialoguing with us because we are not human beings. We do all this so that everyone will understand, including some of our people who are denying that they are not Biafrans, We are not Igbos. Most of the time, it's good for us to understand that Biafra is not an Igbo thing. Biafra is not a personal property or an individual thing. Biafra is for all the Southeasterners. Because during the war, you will see somebody from Delta as a major fighting with Ojukwu. You will see Effiong from Calabar fighting with Ojukwu. You will see the one that named our region Biafra is from Mijo, one of the colonels that fought with Ojukwu. I've forgotten his name. So, Biafra, some of us that want to act one Nigerianist more than anything else, you should hear this. Every day they come with a military tank, bulldozing houses, shooting guns, bombing us, but you can never see them do this in the Northeast, where Gumi and his men are settled. You can never see them do that in Niger State, where Gumi's men now collect tax. And it is about 5 miles to Abuja, the capital of the zoo. Nobody disturbs them. So those of you who are still dragging your feet to join what we are doing will tell me that they will spare you. When Biafra comes, because of your neglect and your ignorance, you will not be admitted into Biafra as a Biafran. You will only come in with extensive verified visa. So my people, for those of you who have not voted for self-referendum or registered for your ID, you better wake up now, because these people are not backing down. Look at it. Gumi is giving all these chances that they could not give any Southeasterner. Rather, they will, on daily basis, release the Boko Harams in their hundreds and call them repentant and push them into military, police, or army and send them down to Southeast. This is why we do some of these things, to get our people understand that it's not about us wanting to get Biafra because we are Biafrans. Yes, it is partly because we are Biafran, but majorly because we want our liberty and freedom. You cannot infringe our rights and use the oil money that is generated from the oil and gas in our land to sponsor terrorists. That cannot happen. This is why they always call Igbos, because we Igbos, we are naturally stubborn, and our stubbornness is only for what belongs to us, because we are not fighting for any land belonging to an Hausa man or fighting any land belonging to a Yoruba man. We are fighting for what belongs to us. So for those of you who are one Nigerianists, people like Allen Onyema, who will go and serve the Fulanese and come back in tears, or the governor of Imo State, or the one in Enugu State, or Soludo, the one in Anambra State, who will ignore the way they buy our people at Okuzu. Till tomorrow, they are still buying our people there. But Soludo will not say anything. It is people like you that makes us showcase this sort of video for you to know that the right you, the peaceful Southeasterners, are not given. They are giving it to a terrorist master, a man that goes to the bush to give food and money and weapon to the terrorists. You can see how he is so relaxed, being interviewed, and the sort of thing he's saying.
An arrangement with the Zamfara state governor, and it's working very well. People now are moving about, markets are open. In the past, nobody can even go to the market. But even the what do you call it, the peace in Zamfara state is not to the optimum we expect. I can understand the state government is constrained by financial burden of amnesty. That's why we are calling on the federal government to chip in here, and it will be easily solved.
Right. Sheikh Gumi, you've said a lot about this amnesty thing. I want you to break it down. I'll ask you two questions. The first one is, what do you really want for this bandits? You want a Niger Delta? Let me give an example. Sheikh, hang on. Sheikh, I'm not asking my question, Sheikh. Let me speak, please. What do you want? Do you want the kind of the Niger Delta, amnesty program that they set up an amnesty arm for them? They probably send them abroad, to learn skills. They send them to university. Is that what you want? And how much billion is this going to cost? Maybe you could put a price on the table in this negotiation. And secondly, Sheikh, you talked about a tribal war going on. And I'd like to know more about that tribal, because I don't know of any. And you said they kill, herders, in or your area and the likes, and in the southwest. What is this tribal war? Because now this is a new narrative. Now, I've never heard you talk about the tribal war before, Sheikh. Now you said there's a tribal war. So tell me more about this tribal war. And how much do these bandits really want? In billions, How much? Is it Niger Delta kind of amnesty? What do they want? Let's hear it.
Okay, let's break down your questions. Let's start with the amnesty. The Niger Delta example, I think we can take example from that. When they were vandalizing the pipelines, which is an umbilical cord for the Nigerian economy, the nation came into negotiation with them, and they are even giving the pipelines to God. And for a period of relative period of peace we had, Nigeria was having its oil supply continuous. The herdsmen too now are controlling a big swath of land, whereby now they are preventing farmers from farming. And it's very important for the economy of the nation, because when you leave a big chunk of the population hungry without farming, is going to have a consequence which we don't want to.
Did you see that? You see that what he has just said, that the amnesty given to those in Niger Delta, they were breaking the pipes. Does the oil belong to Gumi? And now he turned to compare it with making people go hungry. Those Biafrans who are one Nigerianese, I hope you are hearing, and the world are hearing, how a man that controls these terrorists is telling you about how the headers are stopping people from farming. They are not just doing it with bare hands. They are doing it with AK-47, buying people on daily basis in their farms. Now, those Nigerians that were going for, I think it was 28th of February, they had protests. They should now hear Gumi confessing openly on a TV station in that same zoo how they stop people from eating, because the Niger Delta were breaking pipes. Those breaking pipes are mainly people from Ijoland who believe that that oil belongs to them, and they were neglected. They were neglected. Yes. So how can a cattle rearer go to someone's farm with AK-47. And when the owner of the farm, agitates for the destruction of his crops and things like that, you will slaughter the person. My people, Nigeria is a wonderful, a very highly corrupt. The criminality is too much. You see it. And nobody is going there now to reprimand this man. Every time, in fact, with what I said yesterday about Onyendu's wife, there was a video somebody sent to me, I couldn't find it again, where Asare Dokubo said that Onyendu's wife and the DOS went to Finland to petition our Prime Minister, Obato Biewan of Biafra land. And I was like, is she all right? I hope she will hear things like this, where you will be there petitioning somebody who is protecting people from your tribe, somebody who is stepping into your husband's shoes, and you will be petitioning him. But you cannot petition a man like this, a man that guides and protects terrorists. My fellow Biafrans, this video will have to go viral.
Serious. So in the same sense, as the Niger Deltas are important to the economy, this hardman now has suddenly become very important to the Nigerian economy because they can prevent, in fact, they are preventing people from farming. So we can example, instead of telling, if we can come to them, they can be our guards. They can guard the forest. We have spoken with them and we have seen them guarding the forest in Shinkafi area, whereby for more than now, I can say 10 months, there is no kidnapping. In fact, they have even freed some people that were kidnapped. Let's not forget, please, there are thousands of Nigerians, many now.
Did you hear that? That they are no longer kidnapping where they have been paid. They are guarding the forest. And they have released some people they kidnapped. Is that not insane? This man is openly accepting that he is the leader of the kidnappers, the terrorists. This can only happen in Nigeria. I know that the Western world who are friendly with Nigerians are watching all these programs. Where Gumi? Hello, my sister, my darling sister. Thank you for joining. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I hope that the world, that they are listening to this terrorist master. This will show everyone that the governments in that country are the ones sponsoring terrorism. And I can assure you that once they conquer the whole Nigeria, they will extend to America, Britain, France, and other Western world. Because there was a time a flight from Nigeria going to America was carrying a young Fulani man, and he was caught with bomb in his shoes. And what he intended was to detonate that bomb when the aircraft takes off. When we are crying this way, it's not just that we want the world to hear. Biafrans are going to protect the world from these people and their terrorism. Yeah.
So these herdsmen, they are not in a hurry. In fact, I got last week that some 2 nurses were kidnapped in April in southern Kaduna. Up to now, we're trying to locate and who are these people who kidnapped them to try to see if we can get them. Look at the sufferings Nigerians are doing simply because we are not dialoguing with these people. These people are not some aliens from from Mars or from the outer space. They are Nigerians. We know them. We know their relatives. We know everything about them. And they have qualities that we can tap on. That is the Fulani man. Is not to be shy, is not to be respectful to his elders. And they work in unity and community. We can gather them all together. They're ready even to sit down. They told me we are ready to sit down with the government. I don't know what is stopping.
You see, they told him that they are ready to sit down with the government. I don't even know where Fulani tribe is in Nigeria. I don't know the location because the only tribe we know in the north are the Hausas. I don't know where Fulani, where they wandered from, North Africa, and came here, and the Fulani man in the person of Gumi is here giving command what they want. So for those Biafrans who are pretending that they are not Biafrans, or telling our prime minister, we are not Biafrans, they should hear this, because they will not spare you. They will not spare you. They just came, and the chief of defense staff, Mr. Mumu Musa, he said that they would have flattened the town. But look at Gumi. Nobody touches him. He walks free. My sister Diane, make your comment, because your comment is always very useful. Make your comment. What is going on in this country is surprising, unbelievable.
In this National Congress of Herdsmen, because if they can come together and decide that, okay, no more kidnapping, the war is finished, and this is our conditions, I don't see any other Fulani man breaking that agreement and continue with the crime. So it's, to me, a simple thing, witness engagement.
Yes, let me read what my sister Diane said. He said, do you know that Sheikh Gumi was deported from Saudi Arabia? I know. I know. That's why I am saying that the Western world should know that when these people conquer Nigeria, Western world is their next target. During election last February, the APC, which is the ruling party now, and they are Muslim, they said that they are not coming to build hospitals or roads for us, that they are coming to Islamize the whole Nigeria. That's what they said. So they want to capture the whole Nigeria, then they will be using the oil and gas money to go to other parts of the world, terrorize them, because they are warlike people. You can hear it now. So she said that Gumi was deported from Saudi Arabia because of terrorism and criminal teaching. All what Gumi is doing can only happen in Nigeria, the lawless country. That's what it is, my sister. That's exactly what it is. So this very program is to let those Biafrans who do not want to join what we are doing, telling our prime minister that they are not Biafrans. Yes. Yes. Exactly. That's what they are doing. They are just dragging their feet. You know why? Because our Obatobie has this Biafra Liberation Army protecting them from these people that Gumi is confessing here that he is training. He said that there is tribal war in Nigeria. You know, and Hussaini asked him, Hussaini of Arise TV asked him that he doesn't know that there's tribal war going on in Nigeria. He said yes, that the Fulanis felt marginalized. These are people who don't have anything in common with us. They are asking for a right that we Biafrans are being denied. We are the indigenes of that land. They are denying us that right, but Gumi is demanding the right for people who came from Futajalon. And not only that, they are doing it by massacring people all over the country. And he is being a very cushy interview, while our Onyendu is languishing. And yesterday I showed you people where one Shetima Yerima said over his dead body, will they see Onyendu being released? But look at this one. So any Southeasterner who is denying or accepting should hear this and know that they don't have any friend in Southeast. They are only using you for the meantime, because what they want is to get us completely extinct from that part of the world. But God will not allow them, because with our prime minister, they will not. They have incarcerated our leader, our prime minister alone. His name gives them shock. Whenever they hear Simon Ekpa, they start winning their pants.
From the government. So that is with the amnesty. The other thing you are talking about, you see, I've been saying it's an ethnic war, and I think people didn't understand me, because in Nigeria, we don't consider ethnicity really, we don't understand it. The Fulani is an ethnic stock, different from the other groups. But what I said now is tribal. It's because you find the Fulani fighting the Yorubas in the southwest, fighting the Igbos in the southeast, fighting the other tribes in the north, depending on which region it is. So it's a tribal war going on. But when a governor...
Let me tell you, look at what he's saying. The Igbos fighting, the Yorubas fighting, the Fulani, they are not indigenous. Igbos and Yorubas are not fighting. It is these very Fulani people, they are very insightful. Please, Diane, could you confirm, have you ever heard any conversation which leaked, an audio conversation between Shetima when he was governor to one man called Kunle? Did you hear that? I want yes or no, please, or just a confirmation. They are very good at inciting problems and creating trouble anywhere they are. That's what they are known for. Gumi is a terrorist deported from Saudi Arabia, and he came to Nigeria because Nigeria is where they came and settled. They believe that Nigeria is a very fertile ground for the Fulanis, who are wanderers, very nomadic in nature. They are all over West Africa, causing trouble from country to country. Hello. Yes, thank you. Nwanyi Igbo, daalụ nwanne m. Yes, that's what they do. There was a time this Shetima, before he became the vice president, he was talking to Kunle, telling him what they will do in Nigeria and how they are going to make Igbos invisible. And he was saying that the Oba of Lagos will push the Igbos to the lagoon, and they are doing it because they are very insightful. And you know, right now that what's his name is dead, Tinubu. Tinubu is only a yes member. He's not a president. The person that is the president of Nigeria is Shetima. Tinubu can only do what they tell him to do. So the government of Nigeria, Muslim ticket is not for anybody else. It's not for anybody else. Their terrorism is not just within Nigeria. By way of extension, they will go to other countries when they finish with Nigeria. So this war that we are waging against them is for our freedom and liberty. We, the indigenes, we cannot sleep anymore for Gumi and his tribe. So this one is gone.
Schools initiative by beefing up security in educational institutions haven't worked as the abduction of schools. The country is so allegiance of people are asked.
Leaders, and I felt that initiative should be continued, and I found the chief very passionate about it.
In one instance,
So them it's been now reduced to
cousins. One of them, even his own father. Foreigners, not Nigerian.
Hello, my sister Diane. You said the audio of Kunle Amosu and Yerima Shetima was 2015 when Buhari became the president. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for this confirmation. Yes. Well said. Yes. Yes. This Gumi of a man, everybody is giving him a very, I don't know, they are pampering him. Why? Because it is the government of Shetima. That was what he swore to do when he comes to power. But I can assure him that he will not, and they will not succeed. If their father, Usman Danfodio, who was the warrior that brought them in 1808, could not capture the whole Nigeria or the whole three nations in that 1808 when he came from Futajalon, that time, what we are doing now was not there at all. So many years ago, they will not succeed now. They think it is easy or possible. They are trying, but they will fail. No Biafran would see this and still remain on the fence, telling you I'm not a Biafran. They have numbered all of you. There's a man that they spied. His name is Obidaya Malafia. The man gave all this info. He gave the information of all these things they are doing now. And our prime minister then, he heard the interview where the man was telling you what the Fulanis plan to do, and they are doing it right now. So whether you accept that you are Biafran or not, as long as you are from Southeast, even Southwest, they will use you and they will buy you, because they are very, very intentional. They mean what they are doing. They want to capture the whole world. For who?
Amongst them, then obviously it looks as though you are defending non-Nigerians against the sovereignty of Nigeria.
No, you see, I'm not. They even told us when you see the people who are supposed to be neutral, which is the government, is siding with because the ordinary herdsman finds the vigilante as his natural enemy, because they have been killing them through extrajudicial killings, lynching them, killing them in markets. So when they see a governor aligning himself with the vigilante groups, automatically they term the government as an enemy to them. So what we are saying is that government now should look at this as people fighting. It's either fighting between Fulani and the Hausa, Fulani, Nupe, Fulani, Yoruba. They should look at it that way. And they can really broker peace. They can come in the middle. If there's assurances, I'm telling you, these people will release all their captives. And where they come.
Yes, my sister. Is inferiority complex. Shetima is a Fulani. They are all Fulanis. Yes, is inferiority complex. Well, you will hear in Gumi's another interview that I have here. He said that those people are marginalized, that they are not treated well. Who made them to have complex? They live in the bush. They don't want to join others. In fact, nobody was fighting them until they started when Buhari came, as Diane rightly said. You know, they were the ones terrorizing everyone. Even though we know that they are not from the same country as other Nigerian indigenes, nobody ever sent them out of school or asked them not to be educated or not to live in the bush. That's their choice, and it's their culture and tradition. We cannot ask them to come out of the bush, but now they are everywhere, terrorizing people. Is that how to integrate? If you want to bring yourself to live with the people, you come out of the bush.
One of the herdsmen commanders stood and said, if this peace is serious, then they too, meaning the herdsmen, should all release all the captives, the thousands of captives in the bush. And when he said that, all the rest clapped for him, which we saw. So they are tired. They are tired of it. They are looking at it as a war. And you from outside and the government, you are looking at them as criminals. And they even told us, they say we are criminals. Well, we accept we are criminals, but they know what they are doing. Okay. So I think it's time to put a bridge and cross over and see where we can broker peace, release our captives. And they too, they're asking that we have a list of captives with the authorities. If they are released, we are going to release others.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Gumi. I'm happy that you've been able to confirm to us that these bandits still see themselves as criminals, because initially you told us in the media not to call them criminals. So I'm happy you've been able to make that point clear. But Sheikh, I deliberately asked you a question earlier on. Now, where does your allegiance lie? And you said with Nigeria. Confirm for me, like some governors have been saying in the north. Hang on a minute, Sheikh. Confirm for me, are all these bandits Nigerians? Because some governors are saying there are a lot of foreigners amongst them. And if you say your allegiance lies with Nigerians, and it is true that there are some foreigners, not Nigerians, amongst them, then obviously it looks as though you are defending non-Nigerians against the sovereignty of Nigeria.
No, you see, I'm not an immigration officer to know who is a Nigerian or not by mere looking at him. And I'm not trained to identify Nigerian from non-Nigerian. But the people we saw in the bush are Nigerians. In fact, most of the times, their cousins, one of them, even his own father, was there. So to us, they are Nigerians. And what I said, I am for Nigeria and for the truth and for the justice. I don't accept extrajudicial killings, whether from the military, whether from the government, whether from the bandits, whether from any Nigerian. I don't accept that. We want peace in this nation. We want the rule of law. We want everything to go through the law process and the due process of law. And no blood should be spilled. And this is what I'm standing for. And I know these bandits, if you don't know, they are cooperating with a lot of bad elements in our security system. This is a business. So many people are involved in it. So surprised.
Did you hear that? He said this is business. And so many people are involved. You will be so surprised. Did you people hear that? Let me play it again.
Against anybody who is committing crime against this nation, against humanity.
Operating with a lot of people in our security system, expatiate on that. So that means you're saying there's complicity? Our security architecture is working with the bandits? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They were caught in Zamfara. They were caught everywhere. How can these big weapons get across our borders? How can this big weapon cross our borders and get into the forest without the cooperation of some bad elements in the security system? It's not possible. If I
Did you hear that? Oh my goodness. He said, how can all these big weapons cross the border without the knowledge of their security system? You know, recently, the lawyers said that every day that Onyendu attends court, some people will claim 500 million for security. My people, how many security do you people see there? These people are really sucking our oil dry, and they will never stop. You know, my people, something happened in the Bible. I always like, I'm not sorry for using Bible because that was my orientation. When you don't own something, you easily give it up or you deal with it anyhow. When Solomon asked God for wisdom, just like our prime minister begged God for 1,000 men wisdom, God gave Solomon that wisdom. And the first attempt was 2 women fighting for a child. And it was the one who doesn't have the child that said that Solomon should divide that child. But what did the real mother of that child do? She said, no, don't divide the child. Give her the child because she wants the child to be alive. You see the way they throw about our money from our oil, I mean to say, because Naira is not my money. My money is a Gemma, the Biafran new coin. You know, they use that oil money anyhow because that oil, Nigeria, that country, the indigenes, it does not concern them. It's not their own. They are foreigners. These people came from North Africa. My sister Diane, you heard a Fulani man confessing by himself that these Fulanis are not Nigerians, they are not Cameroonians, they are not Ghanaians, that they are from North Africa. They are nomadic people. They should leave Nigerians alone. I can play the video here again. My sister Diane said, when they said Boko Haram, it means book or education is bad. Do you think those people will go to school? Gumi is just telling Nigerians that he is the president of bandits and their negotiator. Exactly. He is their negotiator and nobody goes after him. And Munyo Nyendu will be there petitioning our Obatobi, the prime minister, to Finland. She does not read or listen to interviews like this. Because if you are a true freedom fighter, you will be reading every news that comes your way. Yes. Yes, Gumi is, my sister, Nwanyigbo said, Gumi is very fluid, unstable. He wants to be, he wants us to be afraid. Yes, we will defend ourselves. Biafrans, Biafra is the solution. Exactly. Nwanyigbo, it is very correct. Eziokwu Kiku. My people, those of you who are Biafrans denying that you are not Biafrans, wake up. Wake up. Look at Gumi. And this guy, Useni, is asking him very sharp, pertinent, and objective questions. Questions that are very reasonable to be asked a sensible man. But Gumi will answer it as a terrorist that he is. Yes, a terrorist deported from Saudi Arabia. Nigeria is the den of terrorists. Check the list.
If I give you the same amount, can you take it into UK? You cannot take it into UK because the security is alert. So you see, part of
let me take you people back a bit to it, where he said that some people in the zoo, in the government, are benefiting from this banditry. You see, my God, openly, and nothing will happen to him. He is saying it openly, accepting it, and nothing will happen to him because he's working for them.
Let me ask you a question earlier on. Now, where does your allegiance lie? And you said with Nigeria. Confirm for me, like some governors have been saying in the north. Hang on a minute, Sheikh. Confirm for me, are all these bandits Nigerians? Because some governors are saying there are a lot of foreigners amongst them. And if you say your allegiance lies with Nigerians, and it is true that there are some foreigners, not Nigerians, amongst them, then obviously it looks as though you are defending non-Nigerians against the sovereignty of Nigeria.
No, you see, I'm not an immigration officer.
I think we have gone past this.
Me are looking at him. This is true.
Well, sure, Gumi, why you
Us into cross our borders first without the
Bandits, is that what you're saying?
Hold one of them. Look, I'll bring you to school. And
things are forgiven?
us into cross our borders. How can this big weapon cross our borders and get into the forest without the cooperation of some bad elements in the security system? It's not possible. If I give you the same amount, can you take it into UK? You cannot take it into UK because the security is alert. Well, so you see,
you see what Gumi is trying to say. He said what he said, that all these big trucks and big weapon that is found in Nigeria, how do you think that they get through the borders? That some of the security men are involved. He said it here now, that the security men in the system are involved. That those weapons that are found in Nigeria, how do you think they came in? That if you take such weapon to UK, you cannot bring it in because their security is strong. Yes, because during the COVID time, we all heard in the news that all the borders were closed, shut down in the zoo. But the people in the north left their border very porously and very open for them to bring in their weapon and bring in all these marauders that you see in the bushes in our land, because they have surrounded that country. They are all in the bush. So for Gumi to say a thing like this in public will convince anyone that he is working with the government.
Bad elements in our security system. This is a business. So many people are involved. You'll be so surprised. And I'm still against anybody who is committing crime against this nation, against humanity.
He said so many people are involved.
In our security system, expatiate on that. So that means you're saying there's complicity? Our security architecture is working with the bandits? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They were caught in the Farah. They were caught everywhere. How can these big weapons get across our borders? How can this big weapon cross our borders and get into the forest without the cooperation of some bad elements in the security system? It's not possible.
Did you hear that?
If I give you the same
How can all these big weapons come in without some people in the security system? He was saying, oh yes. The man said to him, explain. He said, yes, that they are involved. So how can anybody say that it is IPOB or ESN, because this is how they always put it, causing the problem in Southeast? We already know. No, it's not just that you already know, but a confirmation from a man like Gumi that works with the government. If a man like Gumi is making an open confession that the government is involved in all those heavy weapons, how could anybody open their dirty trap to call our PM that he's the one causing insecurity in the Southeast? These are the people causing it. He is here confessing to every atrocity that they are causing in Nigeria, because they are the terrorists terrorizing that country where our people are still trapped.
Can you take it into UK? You cannot take it into UK because the security is alert. Well, so you see, part of fighting this banditry is to overhaul our security system.
Well, say, Gumi, when you say that the Nigerian state should negotiate with bandits and terrorists, can you help us outline what you mean by that? Is it in terms of the Nigerian government giving money, paying ransom, or what exactly do you mean? Or, granting the amnesty that you talked about? What form should that amnesty take? Should they be put together, served jollof rice and pepper soup, and their sins are forgiven, and the crimes that they have committed overlooked? What exactly do you mean? Because I'm sure even the Nigerian government from you, they really don't know exactly what you are recommending.
Okay, you see, like the last picture we saw of the last kidnapped students, those boys carrying those heavy weapons behind them. I want them to be in school. Because when we went to Niger State, I met these same boys. I met one of them even. I told one of them, look, I'll bring you to school in Kaduna. Do you want to come to school? He said, yes, he wants to. These boys, you see, they want to go to school. So if the government will give me a free hand, I can remove those weapons from them, put them in school. But if I go there and say, bring your weapon alone and remain in the bush, definitely he will get another weapon. And definitely he will kidnap another person. You can't leave a human being so illiterate in this hard time of economic hard time and expect him to behave well. From where is he getting his morals? From where? Indeed. Well, you've spoken of the tension. What I want the government to engage them. Right. I thought look at their teacher. Sorry, do go ahead. So this is what I want. The amnesty I'm talking about is not dashing money to them at all. This same commander Dogo Gide that took these boys, he gave us his conditions for peace. Number one, he said, if once there is vigilante, he said, I will promise you, but once there is vigilante, I will never agree to any peace agreement. So when we went to the governor, we said, okay, why don't you disband?
You see, they are refusing to vigilante because they don't want people to defend themselves. Yes, they don't want people. You see the condition because Abati, AFS Abati asked him, what type of amnesty are you talking about or settlement? He said that number one is that there should be no vigilante. So they want to be the ones carrying guns, buying people, carrying knives, cutting people, but no vigilante. That is one of their conditions. That's why the police and the army are always protecting them when they are in operation in any town or anywhere. Look at him, that their condition is that there should be no vigilante anywhere.
Vigilante and turn them into civil defense. Let them have a uniform, let them be trained, but let them be seen as vigilantes because the herdsmen will never agree to do eye to eye with them. Secondly, he said they agree to protect the forest, no any case of kidnap will happen, and that if there is a 3 months of peace, then the government should come in and build a hospital for them. He mentioned hospital. And he said after another 3 months, they should come and build school for them. And that they should release all their prisoners. And they are ready to release everybody. These are the conditions he told us. So I don't know why we cannot engage them. They are not like the others that are bent on destroying the Nigerian sovereignty. No, they are willing to sit down. Even this, the latest one here, I've tried to contact the governor and to get a word from him that, look, why don't we arrange and sit down and see and talk to this man to release these children, and that we should see what they want. If schools is what they want, we get schools for them. Because as I'm talking now, in this Kagorko area, we are building a school now. And we found that some herdsmen are even coming around the school trying to settle down. So when we ask them, why are you coming to settle down here? They say, we don't want our children to be like us. I want children to be educated.
These are those people that we were told in 2015 that the Buhari said they will bring all of them to come and settle them in Nigeria. Now they want hospital to be built for them with whose money, and schools to be built. They don't want their children to be like them. The schools that Jonathan built for them in the north, you will go there, you won't find any students. My people, is wonderful what goes on in the zoo. Biafra is definitely our solution and is going to be our last bus stop. Biafra must come. We cannot stay in a country where you have terrorist leader giving you terms and conditions for them to stop terrorizing you, because I'm sure that when Biafra comes, they will dare not cross our border. They will not. Look at what a terrorist leader will be telling a whole country. And after that, he will just go home and sleep in peace, because he is the one terrorizing the whole nation, giving his conditions, giving his terms. That's why most of the time we do what we do in English, because these people, this man must surely be taken to ICC when Biafra comes. Yes, this man and all those he has confessed that are involved or making money, they will all be taken to court, International Criminal Court. Well, it's good for our people to know. You listen to your enemy to know how to tackle him, and it is good to use it to tell those denying Biafra, some Biafrans who are on the fence, refusing to join us in what we are doing, especially those Biafran billionaires who should come and lift Biafra up one time, buy groundnut for Biafra Liberation Army. People like Allen Onyema, Obi Kubana, all of them, Ibeto, all of them that are Biafran rich men. Yes. No, it's not just only problem of Nigeria. It's not only that, my sister. No, it's not only that. They are our problems. They are disturbing our people. They are the ones causing insecurity in the Southeast. I don't know if you have ever heard anyone calling our Prime Minister. If you are a Biafran and you have been following, if you confirm you are a Biafran and you have been following, you will know that Imo State, Abia State, Ebonyi, even Anambra, and sometimes in Enugu, Nsukka, to be precise, they are always there terrorizing our people. So, this is their leader. Yes, this man is their leader. So it's good to tell those Biafrans who should be supporting what we are doing, but they are not. Recently, they went to Uheli, and our Prime Minister promised to revenge that insecurity and the fight that they took to Uheli people, burned the whole town down. The Ijaw people came and said that they are not Biafrans. So it is for people like them that you showcase this sort of thing, if this is the Nigeria that they are proud of. Because once you are a Southeasterner, they are ready to buy every Southeasterner if it is possible for them. If not for our Prime Minister, Southeast would have been in IDP camp right now. But our Prime Minister vowed to keep Southeast at peace from this man and these men that he is talking about. You cannot talk of your freedom without watching the person you are getting your freedom from to know how you yourself will strategize. This is why we always talk about these people. But Biafra coming is a sure deal. Biafra will come. Currently, we are still doing our self-referendum electronic voting. We are doing our ID registration. We are doing donation every Saturday. And we also are registering to go to Finland for this declaration of Biafra on the 2nd of December. So, Biafra is our religion. We must preach Biafra, but because the Biafrans, majority of them are still trapped in the zoo, we have to tell them about these people so that they will be careful and know how they go. That's why we talk about this. They are no longer our problem because we are leaving them. By the special grace of God, they will never be our problem again. My people, I will leave you here. Try and subscribe to Betty Ford TV. Share the message so that it goes viral. Biafra is a task that must be done, and it is our religion. We will not stop evangelizing or preaching Biafra until it comes. Definitely, Biafra will come, and when Biafra comes, we will not have any reason or any cause to talk about terrorism because we are peaceful, loving people, very liberal-minded people. Yes, we are focused on defending Biafra land. That's why I'm talking about the rich ones who should come and help us to donate. We need their donation very generously. Every Saturday, donate for the protection and defending Biafra land. We are very focused. We are very, very focused. So, Nwanyi Igbo, thank you for joining. I will see you same time tomorrow. Thank you, my sister Stella, and thank you, Henry, and my lovely sister Diane. I will leave you people here. Chetakwanụ na okoko ndem si na onye ndị ilo gbara gburugburu na-eche ndụ ya nche mgbe niile. Ndị Biafra, unu alarụkwa n'ụla. Peace, progress, unity, and equity. I love you all. Thank you, Henry. Bye-bye for now.